Bianca. Did you bring any more food? I'm starving.
You're always
There's
hungry.
no time for that, Hunter. We have to stop the sorceress. She's gonna kill all the dragon hatchlings.
Wait a minute. Why should I trust you? This could be another trap.
You're in a cage, you furry numbskull. How can I trap you by letting you out?
She's got you there.
I don't know. You sorceress types can be sneaky.
I never thought we were going to hurt the dragons. Come on, we don't have time for this.
And thus, another ally joins our struggle. But can we trust her? Can we really? Can we? Yes, actually, the answer is yes.
Spyro, I know you don't trust me, but I want to help you stop the sorceress. There's a way to open a hidden portal to her lair, but it'll take some very strong magic. If you can find more of the dragon eggs, I think my magic will be strong enough to open the portal. I'll come find you when you have enough eggs, okay?
Well, considering I do have enough eggs and you've already found me, then yeah. Cool. So yeah, the number of eggs that you need to unlock the final battle with the sorceress is 100. Nice round number. And we currently have 105, so we can actually go fight the sorceress anytime we want. But for the sake of sequence breaking, I am not going to do that because I am a good little boy. What I am going to do is go up these stairs and glide to this not exactly well-hidden egg over here. Very unsuccessfully, might I add. My gosh, why do I suck so much at gliding lately? It's like one of the most core mechanics in this game, and for some reason, I'm just not feeling it today. Alright, so now that that's done, we might as well go back to Evening Lake and do the third Sparks level, which the perk that we get for that one is really, really useful. So let's get it out of the way. Beam me up, Scotty! Fun fact, Captain Kirk actually never says beam me up, Scotty in the entirety of the Star Trek series. At least that's what I've heard. I'm not a Trekkie myself, but so I could be wrong. Also a fun fact, Darth Vader never says, Luke, I am your father, and I have seen Star Wars, so I can attest to that. And then they just vanish, and then the camera freaks out, and then weird things. Please, Toys for Bob, patch this game! Even though I know it actually wasn't Toys for Bob who made the majority of Spyro 3, but still! Please patch it! I know you're hard at work on it, and it better be a good one. Please and thank you. Alright, take me to church, Zoe.
Princess Amy showed me a place called Starfish Reef. She said there's an egg hidden in there. I think Sparks should check it out.
I think you're right. Let's do it. Ew. The Sparks level... This Sparks level, there we go. My God, I'm so bad at talking lately. Is entirely underwater. Which, because the Sparks levels are actually kind of fun, this counts as an underwater level that's actually kind of fun. So, the streak is broken. Huzzah! Let us all rejoice. This is probably, I would even go so far as to say, as being my favorite Sparks level in the game. I know for some people it's their least favorite, but I really enjoy it. I think it's got like a nice, it's got a nice gauntlet aspect to it. Like defeat all of the enemies before you can progress through the doors. Like in the other Sparks levels, it was, you get the right key to unlock the doors. Here, it's just kick a whole bunch of butt, and you'll be allowed to progress. Which, I tend to enjoy levels like that. Actually, I just got done, playing a level similar to that earlier today. As some of you know, at the time of this recording, I have been replaying God of War for the third time because it is so awesome. And there's a level in that game called Muspelheim, which requires you to not only just defeat a bunch of enemies, but it also has certain tasks, or what's the word I'm searching for? Certain challenges, I guess, that you have to complete while you do it. Like there's more than one actually, where you can't take any damage, which is, you know, natural. There's one where enemies' health regenerates at a very rapid rate, so you have to kill them really quickly. There's another one where you have to kill enemies, like actually have them die in a certain area of the arena. So yeah, it's really fun and it's very rewarding. And it also helps with your, like, combat skills. And this is no exception. You need to get, like, be really fast, move around, shoot a lot. Really for, you know, Sparks levels and most top-down shooters, it's really just about not thinking, just, you know, shooting first and asking questions later. It's like an innate instinct just to shoot them up. Which is what the majority of video games have sadly devolved into nowadays. We've come full circle, it seems. We're just, you know, playing archaic games with a major facelift. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Now I can finally say that because Agent 9 said it earlier. I'm so happy. So we have to go through this room first, and now we can actually progress through the... Don't! Okay. I would, even though it's powerful and it looks cool, I would not recommend getting that blue, butterfly over there. Because it's, creates kind of a sea mine that gravitates towards enemies and just blows them to Kingdom Come. My recommendation is to not use that. Always use the rapid fire, especially when you go up against the mini-bosses and Sparks levels, because you'll be able to finish them off so much easier. And this is probably the easiest Sparks level boss to defeat with the rapid fire, so... You know, if it doesn't really match your playstyle, then do what you want, but it's my personal recommendation. Love the little pop sound that the starfish make when they die. It's satisfying. Actually sounds like you're underwater. Nice touch. Oh god. Why did it have to be ranged attacks? So why is this place called Starfish Reef again? I'm not really getting that. Look at that, we're already at the boss. It didn't take long at all. I'm just brazing through this game today. Even though I'm dying a lot. See, yeah, those sea mines that he's shooting at you are pretty similar to the ones that Sparks shoots when he gets that power-up. So... let's do this. Oh god. Come on. And then if you get him to half health, then he splits in two. And then he starts firing off little tiny, manta rays that you have to, like, kind of act as a force field, but not really. Just keep on shooting him, and he goes down like a lead balloon. Look at that. In for efforts, we rescue Anna Sean! Hi! Honestly, that's a really pretty name, Anna Sean. So we have the egg, but we do not have all of the gems. This is the only Sparks level in which the end and the beginning loop around. It's through this passage right here. And this should be the last of the gems. Bam, look at that. Now let's get our reward, and it is a doozy.
When I saw that giant stingray, I thought you were a goner, Sparks. But you sure showed him. And now the magic from the egg has made you even stronger, allowing you to take one more hit for Spyro.
You hear that, people? We actually get a health boost in this game. Spyro the Dragon, the RPG. So to tell the difference, to know if Sparks has an extra hit point or not, is he'll glow a little bit brighter. See, he has like that really shiny tinge to him now. That's how you know that he's able to take one more hit for you. So, yeah, really useful perk. Really useful. Especially later in the game when enemies start becoming even more aggressive and have a quicker reaction time. So, that's 3 out of 4 Sparks levels down. That's actually 3 out of 4 worlds down, apart from the critter sections that we have to backtrack for. So now let's actually start exploring Midnight Mountain. And by actually start exploring, I of course mean immediately go over here and free Agent 9 because he's awesome.
Well, well, Spyro. Look what I have here. It's a life-size Space Monkey action figure, complete with a fully operational laser. I'd love to let him out so you can play with him, but the sorceress seems to think he's a menace.
I mean, he is a menace, but why should that be a reason to lock him up? I mean, that sounds like a lot of fun. Also, it's a really nice touch that he has this laser blaster, like, just outside the cage, and it's just beyond his reach. That honestly fits the character of Agent 9 very well. It's a very nice touch. I like it.
You don't want to free him?
I do,
What's
but...
the matter, little dragon? Are you just jealous that no one has ever made an action figure out of you?
Hey. Hey. Amiibos count. Never say that they don't.
Well, Spyro.
Well, well, free him, please.
You've always had a
Again with the
weakness for helping silly little creatures, haven't you, Spyro? Ah, well, I suppose there couldn't be any harm in letting him out. Could there?
I mean, maybe to you, yes, but we'll see.
Woohoo! Yippee! I'm free! Thanks, Spyro. Ooh, say, you ever see a bear dance?
No?
Well, it's your lucky day. Check this out.
I love how there's now, like, techno music playing in the background.
Quite the dancer, isn't he? Not much stamina, though. Too bad I had a lot more ammo left. Anyway, I heard all about how you've been fighting the sorceress and her armies and kicking all that butt, and I just wanted to say, huzzah! Yippee! Woohoo! Wish you could stay, but my homeworld's been overrun by Reignited since I've been captured. If you happen to see the sorceress, tell her I'll be giving her dancing lessons real soon. Know what I mean?
You bet.
Later!
The fist bump just totally sells it. Oh, Agent 9 is... Oh, he might just be the best character redesign in the entire trilogy. I'm not sure if I've already said that about one of the other characters, but every time I see Agent 9 on screen, he just fills me with so much joy. You can tell that both of the animators and the voice actor just had the absolute time of their lives animating him and voicing him respectively. Obviously respectively, but just there's so much movement and so much energy and so much bombast to his character. It's just... He is everything I was hoping Agent 9 would be. He's just unbridled, unrestrained, and utterly unbelievable. And also, not only that, not only is his design amazing, but his levels are actually a lot more fun than they were in the original. So Agent 9 is just an all-around fantastic character in Reignited. So, let's... Is that supposed to be reflecting the letters? Because it just looks like they're being warped. That looks weird. Maybe it's just like a really weird... I'm just gonna chalk it up as like a really weird reflective effect that just looks kind of ugly. So with that being said, let's just go to Agent 9's lab.
What was that? Did you see a Rhinoc? I thought I saw a Rhinoc.
I thought I saw a Rhinoc.
Never spend a week in a cage.
A week? Jesus.
Next thing you know, your whole island will be knee-deep in Rhinocs. Well, gotta go. Mr. Laser Blaster and I have a whole lot of work to do.
Well then, let's get to work.
Ah, Agent
Hey,
9,
it's a familiar
my favorite
face.
Pupil. Welcome back to my island laboratory. I'm afraid Rhinocs have taken over the entire island. Could you stop them before they destroy all my research?
I will definitely do my damnedest. Anything for a familiar face. Now, you would probably automatically think that taking control of a space monkey with a laser pistol would automatically equal tons of fun. But in the original game, you would be somewhat right. I mean, his levels were pretty cool and were well designed, but the way that Agent 9 controlled kind of sucked some of the fun out of it. He moved very sluggishly, and his aiming was kind of hard to pinpoint, and his strafing mechanic was, you know, not really fine-tuned, but you gotta think it came out in 2000, which, you know, strafing and third-person shooting wasn't, you know, really perfected at that time. But yeah, Agent 9's levels were fun, but they could have been a lot better, and it was definitely a sign of the times. But here, he is just completely reworked. He moves a lot faster, jumps a lot better, he controls a lot smoother. You actually use the right stick both to control the camera and control where he aims, and you can also control the Y-axis, which is something that could only be done by entering first-person view in the original. They actually took a page out of, you know, modern third-person shooters, especially Ratchet and Clank, when they redesigned Agent 9 for this, and he's just so much more fun now. I love it. I always look forward to his levels now.
Old times. Try shooting these dummies to get warmed up, but be careful. I think a Rhinoc might be hiding amongst them.
Oh, you mean the Rhinoc that I was staring at literally the whole time, that I was gushing about how awesome Agent 9 is now? Could it have been that one, Professor? Could it have been? Could it have been? Do you think? Alright, so yeah, just shoot all these dummies here. Pretty easy. None of them move except for the one that, you know, did. Boing. Boing. And these big old palm trees actually do share a purpose, and if you've been paying attention at all, then you'll know exactly what that purpose is. But we will get to that later. And also there's a lockbox. Not even our laser blaster can open it. So we'll have to come back for that as well. Also, I love how the fodder in this level is just a jumping beaker. I think that's really cute. A jumping beaker that's oddly hard to hit. And speaking of hard to hit, also keeping your eyes open for, these balloon vases here. There's a few of... Are you serious? There's a few of them in this level. Okay, you know, I'm just gonna keep on shooting until it actually hits it. That was really weird. Also, if you're wondering how I zoomed in like that, it's triangle to enter first-person look, and then R1 to zoom in, L1 to zoom out. Easy. And useful.
A vast number of Rhinocs are waiting to ambush us as soon as I lower this force field. I expect they'll keep coming until you shoot the red panic button next to the door where they emerge.
Thanks for the tip. Probably would have been able to figure that out myself if you hadn't said anything. Oh, that big old shiny button that I... Ow. That I just blew all to crap. So there's that. And also, the professor doesn't walk, he just straight up teleports. He teleports, like, frickin' 10 feet away, where he could have just walked. He's...
There's another door at the end of this beach, and Rhinocs will keep coming out until you shoot the red panic button. Work your way up the beach by dodging and using the natural cover on the right side.
Mm-hmm. See, yeah, dodging... And the original was L1 and R1.
You'll need to take out all the Rhinocs.
Are you serious? Shut up, I know. In the original, it was L1 and R1 to dodge, which that also passes over here. But it was also really awkward to use in tandem, there we go, in tandem with the shoulder buttons to control the camera, which is why it is a godsend that you can just use the left stick to strafe and the right stick to move the camera in this version. Now, as I was saying about the professor's ability to teleport, it is said that some of the best inventions were made by lazy people. And the inventions were made because they wanted an easier way to do stuff that was already kind of easy. And if you've ever seen an infomercial in America, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So the professor discovered teleportation, and he uses it literally every chance he can get, so he doesn't have to move his big old fat lazy ass. You're not setting a very good example for the kids, Professor, you know that?
These indicators show that a bunch of Rhinox are hiding behind the display screen. I'll switch on the view pedestal, and you shoot them as they attack. I recommend using your sniper mode.
Why do you need indicators to tell you that? Just listen for one sneezing or something. Jeez. He even has indicators to tell him stuff that he should already know. My gosh. This is where science is taking us. This is the future that scientists want. Oh god, actually, shoot him. There's one complaint I have about Agent 9, and it is kind of a small one. It's that the camera controls, especially in first-person view, or sniper mode as it's called, are very sensitive.
You cleared them out. Let's see what kind of shape the machine room is in. I have a feeling the Rhinox haven't been keeping it too clean.
Good lord, how can you think straight with all of this constant annoying beeping going on, dude? Also another balloon vase in here. And I guess another complaint I have about Agent 9 is that the projectiles from his laser blaster do tend to move a little bit slowly. And that's especially apparent in sniper mode. It's like Max Payne level of bullet speed. Not very convenient, but I guess it's realistic for a game about, you know, a talking purple dragon.
Just as I thought, the machine room is overrun with birds. To target the birds in their nests, you'll want to use sniper mode, then zoom in for pinpoint accuracy.
So you started that sentence with "just as I thought." Like, how could you have known that this was overrun by birds, of all things? Also, if you're close enough, the birds will come right to you. But this right here is actually a pretty good vantage point to get most of them. Ugh. There's a few over here. My gosh, the projectiles really do move slow, don't they? Do you think the one in this nest right here is the only one that you can't get to unless you move a little bit? And again, they'll come right to you, and they'll hurt you if you, just let them, like I just did.
Nice work, Agent 9. I'm not sure if this is a bird egg or dragon egg. What do you think?
Thank you for not trying to eat it first. Beulah. Beulah.
Now I can switch the gravitonometric generator back.
That was a big word.
Hope no birds got in here.
You know, you just had to say that, didn't you? I also said this in my playthrough of A Way Out with Marco. Anytime someone says something like that, like, oh, I hope the worst is over, oh, I hope this doesn't happen, it always happens 5 seconds after they say it. Always. It never fails. Sometimes it even happens before they say it. While they're saying it. Just don't say it, don't even think it, don't even breathe it. Don't even think about thinking about thinking about thinking about it. Know what I mean? Because bad things happen to good people that way. How can I get it through that leaf? I totally can. And then there's this guy who very kindly waited for me to actually set his sights on him before he came at me. That was quite generous.
The lab's clear, and it smells better in here already. Follow me outside, where I expect we'll find some Rhinox wearing armor. You'll need a more powerful weapon to defeat them.
Oh, I know just what you mean. I shall defeat them with the power of love! Pick up the straggling gems in here, as is our custom. Oh my god, seriously, that beeping is getting to me. Please just pick up the gems so we can get out of here. There we go, there should be all of them. What we got here?
By my calculations, the bombs in this handy vending machine should be highly effective against armor. Give it a shot.
Bombs? Well, as a matter of fact, I do want it! Give me those bombs. And also give me this health, please. So, yep, I might have figured this out. But the bombs are what you need to not only defeat these Rhinox with armor, but destroy these lockboxes. So just hold on to square, move the left stick to where you want the bomb to go, and release. Boom. Let's see if I can get this one gem. 1 gem. And also, you unfortunately cannot throw bombs while you're in motion, which is kind of stupid. Just tapping the square button just makes Agent 9 stop in his tracks and then throw it. So unfortunately, that is not a thing you can do. But if you move quick, you'll be able to take these guys out no problem. And the professor will give you some words of wisdom to defeat the last 3.
Just a few more enemies left. You can do it.
Thanks, Professor. That was very necessary. Oh god. For a second I thought you were gonna say, "Oh no, more Rhinox and these ones look really mean!" Ow! I'm sorry I called you mean. Please forgive me. And there we go. Ooh!
Thank you very much for saving my laboratory. Now I can resume thinking.
Hey, it's Rowan Atkinson. Dragons are magic. Alright, and I'm gonna complain about Agent 9 again. Another complaint I have about him is that when you talk to the professor, you lose any of the bombs that you picked up beforehand. And you have to go all the way back to the vending machine to get them. Which is really stupid considering there's a lockbox right at the end of the level. Ugh. Game, why are you like this? Here we go. And there's still quite a bit to do in this level, so let's get to it. One of the things we can do is get these balloon bases up here, which I might not be able to get that one. Am I? Oh my god, I am. Apparently you need to get the vase. You can choose to either get the vase or the balloon. Either way, it's gonna drop. Very good. I'll get this one over here if I can. It's a bit far away, but let's try it. Oh, come on. It's bouncing off of the grass, really? Come on now. Come now. Now to get through this door, you just gotta aim the bomb just right to hit the panic button. And there you go. And a whole bunch of gems. And also palm trees. And guess what? If you destroy all of the palm trees with bombs, you get a shrubbery. And also a skill point. So, oh. These ones. Oh, am I able to hit them? I'm able to hit that one. Maybe this one? Yes, excellent. So there's that. And this challenge over here is where your sniper skills really come into play. Because you gotta defeat all of these Rhinox that are on, I guess, jet skis? And this is also where the, delay for shooting really comes into play. Gotta get him right on target. I guess just like that mission in Grand Theft Auto 5 where you have to sniper the plane engine while it's in the air and account for distance and trajectory and stuff. There we go. Woohoo! God, that's a great animation. Hey, it's Tony Montana. Also, did anyone else know that they're planning on rebooting Scarface again? Ugh. Hollywood has just run out of ideas at this point. Everything is just pointless sequels and reboots. Hardly anything is original anymore. Pretty much the only original movies that come out anymore are like indie films that are like really obscure and don't really get a big audience, but they have like a really high critical reception. It's kind of sad that films like that, you know, kind of fly under a lot of people's radars. You know, maybe Scarface for a modern age could work. I mean, to be fair, the Al Pacino version of Scarface is itself a remake of an older movie, I think about Al Capone, that came out in, I want to say, the 30s or 40s. And it's honestly one of the best, you know, it wasn't really a remake, it was more a reimagining, I guess, for a more modern age. And if the Scarface that's coming out later is, you know, it could be like that. For all I know, it could work the same way that the Al Pacino version did. But enough about that. Now that Agent 9's lab is done, let's skedaddle. We are getting that much closer to victory. It's just in the distance. It's so close that I can smell it. It smells like chili cheese dogs and cherry coke. It's delicious. And let's actually open this lockbox before we enter another portal. It's right here. And I'll deal with you later. I don't like thieves. Let's go to Crystal Islands. Why do you insist on spitting on me? That's freaking gross. Jeez. Ugh. Get away from me. Wait, I thought we left Midnight Mountain. Why does this look exactly the same?
Spyro, don't tell anyone, but we were stolen some magic from the sorceress. We're hiding here whilst we practice using it. Unfortunately, we've had a bit of an accident and turned everything into crystal, and it seems to have aggravated the indigenous creatures.
Oh no, that sounds like a spicy meatball to me. Spicy meatball of trouble. So this is Crystal Islands. Has pretty similar aesthetic to Midnight Mountain, honestly. It's all shiny and has a Twilight tinge to it, but still looks really cool. And the flying beavers look terrifying. That is a sentence that you will not hear every day. For one, beavers don't fly, and also beavers typically aren't that terrifying. Unless you watch that really obscure movie, what is it called? Zombievers, I think? It's like this really bizarre B-movie in which a bunch of zombies come back from the dead and attack people. I've actually never seen it, but I'm kind of tempted to. I've heard it's one of those so bad it's good movies. You know another movie about beavers that's so bad it's good? The Beaver with Mel Gibson. That movie's actually kind of good. That's kind of a weird concept, but I like it a lot. For those of you who don't know, I'll actually see if I can remember the synopsis of it. It's about this guy who's like going through a bit of a midlife crisis. And he uses a beaver hand puppet as an outlet for his midlife crisis. And kind of, you know, it sort of acts as his inner monologue, but after a while, it starts becoming like a split personality for him. And he needs to decide, like, do I want to continue being me, or should I have the beaver take over? Kind of a weird concept, kind of silly slash serious, but it's honestly not that bad of a movie. I enjoyed it. And I'm not even a big Mel Gibson fan. I think he's overrated, honestly. But why am I talking about a movie with Mel Gibson using a beaver hand puppet? I'm playing Spyro. We should not be talking about such silly things. We should be talking about you, the great Zamboni.
Watch carefully. As you can see, there is nothing up my left sleeve and nothing up my right sleeve. But now, with a wave of my hands and the magic word, Alakazam!
And he creates platforms out of nothingness. It's so useful and also very magical. This level does look really cool. Again, awesome color palette, just so shiny and bright and vivid. But I do wish that the enemies that were actually made out of crystal were actually transparent. I understand if that takes like a lot of extra coding and a lot of extra hard work. So I understand if they didn't, but it would have been cool. Just saying. So if we actually backtrack a little bit to this floating island in the distance, we free Maney. Eeny, meeny, meeny, moo. And since this platform is a bit lower than that one, we unfortunately cannot go that way and have to go all the way back around to the great ice rink cleaner. I mean Zamboni.
You want to see the trick again?
Not really, but I kind of have to.
But I want you to know this isn't as easy as it looks. Alakazam!
Yeah, I'm sure. It probably took a while to animate. Also, I just want to point out that those, trees in the background that are like squares, doesn't anyone else get hungry looking at those? Because to me they look like Starburst. It's making me crave some delicious, yummy, chewy fruit snacks.
All this magic is just misdirection, you know? Which is why I'm going to start that whirlwind over there. Abracadabra!
Ooh, joy. Speaking of misdirection, I'm not going to go on the whirlwind yet because there's a bunch of stuff to do around here. So you just wasted a bunch of magic energy for nothing. Good going. Did you ever think to ask me first instead of just automatically assuming I wanted to see a magic trick? Who the frick are you, David Blaine? Jeez, have some respect, would you? Come on, Octopus! Octopussoir! That is a reference to a show that I really should not be making. If I want to keep this PG-13. Alright, I think that's everything. In the immediate proximity. So once again, let me see that fascinating trick that I only want to see because it'll help me progress through the level.
Okay, I'll show you again. If you watch carefully, maybe you'll be able to see how it's done. Abracadabra!
Ugh. Ratting on up. And what is this area over here? No, wait, take me back! Take me back! Take me back! Please! I want to go back! Yep. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. What do you want this time?
Spyro, did you know I happen to be a very talented amateur magician?
No, I didn't know that
My
because you aren't.
specialty is the amazing extending bridge trick. I'd love to show you, but I'll need a small donation first. For my expenses, you understand.
And what exactly did you do with all of the cash that I already gave you throughout the course of the game? You blew it on coke, didn't you?
You shouldn't anger a magician, Spyro. I just might decide to turn you into a blue hedgehog or something.
So, does that mean that Sonic exists somewhere in this universe? I've always wondered about that. Is it just like one great big universe, and just like on the other side of a distant mountain there's like Dr. Eggman / Robotnik causing havoc to all the little critters in Green Hill Zone? It's all connected. Illuminati confirmed. Also, sure, I'll pay $1,000. $1,000 that... Okay, I'm actually gonna... I actually started recording this session when I first did Charmed Ridge. I want to see how many gems I had at the beginning of that session, and how many gems I'm ending up with right now, to give you an idea of how much I have to pay moneybags throughout these last few levels.
Very good.
Oh god, that face is uncomfortable.
Hocus pocus, zigglety zen, make this bridge get long again.
If only the same thing could be said for my patience to deal with your crap. That was amazing. Do it again.
I'm afraid the show's over, Spyro. Why don't you go play with the gnomes? I think they look lonely.
I think you look like a piece of poop because you are. What can I do you for?
I've been working on a great new magic trick, but this bear keeps spoiling it.
Well, you don't have to worry about him anymore. Seriously, and a level that is like Crystal Islands and Crystal Bears and Crystal Enemies, that... Why flying beavers? Kind of... I mean, the octopi I can kind of understand because, you know, you need an extra hazard for underwater to make it challenging, but... Flying beavers... Just... What kind of chemicals were Insomniac under the influence of when they designed the enemies for this level? Makes me wonder. Makes me wonder indeed. I mean, it's not quite as trippy as, say, literally anything in Dreamweavers, but it's still kind of weird.
Well, I suppose I could show you my new trick. As long as you promise not to tell the great Zamboni, he steals all my best work. Alakazam!
Yeah, sure, I won't tell him, totally.
Here, you can have this. I was going to use it in a trick, but my magic, it just keeps bouncing off.
Well, did you ever think that the egg itself is magical? No, you only think about yourself. Alright. Yeah. So this is kind of the same idea as The Last World and Spyro 2, as in, you don't necessarily have to go through all of the levels and get to the end of all of them in order to access the final boss, since there are no talismans in Winter Tundra and Spyro 2. And the same thing here, even though you do technically save a denizen, they don't really count for anything other than an egg. So, I'm just throwing that out there. Also, challenge portal. And this is the first time in which we actually get to ride a slide in the entire series. So let's go! And they actually made the slides a lot easier. Well, actually both a lot easier and a little bit harder in this version of the game. For one, the steering is a lot tighter and more responsive. But one other thing that makes it harder is that Spyro moves a lot faster. For this one, it's not that big of a deal because the turns are already pretty wide, so you're able to navigate this pretty easily. Actually, yes, wide, that's what I meant. But there's a slide later on in the game which has a really sharp turn, and it's pretty difficult to slide down unless you use an exploit, which I'll get to when we actually get to that level. Alright, so that should be everything here. Usually when I slid on the slide in the original game, I would end up missing a few gems because, you know, the steering was so unresponsive, and also Spyro's speed changes a lot depending on the incline of the slope. Here he just moves the same speed all around, which both seems kind of weird and kind of defying the laws of physics, but it also works in your favor, and it makes the gems a lot easier to collect. So we still have a bunch more to do in this level. Let's get to it. As we do. Hody ho, hoby ho, let's go we go. Let's go do another really annoying Bentley challenge.
Good evening, Spyro. The amazing
What the heck are you doing? What did I walk into?
Display of prestidigitation. I've heard it's quite impressive, so I'm going to watch the show.
I credit this game for introducing me to the word prestidigitation. I actually think that's also where the word presto originated. I could be wrong. But in short, prestidigitation is just a fancy word for sleight of hand. So just like the cat hockey minigame, instead of actually watching a magic show, we get to save the magic show.
I am afraid my magic show seems to have overexcited them all. All they need is a good bonker on the head to calm them down. And you look like just the Yeti to help.
Yes, we're literally going to play whack-a-mole. You heard that right.
A light tap on the head should sort them out.
It's gonna be more than light.
My friends are trying to burrow after them.
Yep. Use your club to bash the moles, but don't bash the gnomes. And yes, that is just as hard as it sounds. Because they are just mingled right together. And also, Bentley moves really slow, so it's hard to keep up with them. And also, the camera is really weird. The camera isn't really zoomed out like it was in the original, so you have to constantly keep your head on a swivel. And I am definitely going to fail this the first time. Holy crap. And the way that the gnomes and the moles move, a lot of times they end up, like, bumping into each other and being really close to each other, so you really gotta thread the needle with your big freaking club, which is really annoying sometimes. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be able to get it this time. This is one of the more poorly designed challenges in Spyro 3 for Reignited. Really not a fan of it. I don't think there's anyone who's a fan of it.
Well, that did not do it.
Nope.
See, they've got themselves all worked up into a tizzy. You'll have to try again.
Yes, I will. Son of a biscuit-eating bulldog, what the French toast. See if I can get it right this time. Come on, here we go. Whoa, that was weird. Did you see that? The mole just kind of floated through the ground. This game is finished. This game is finished. This game is finished. Oh, yes, it is. Did I just get 2 in 1? Nice. Oh god, where are the moles? Where are the moles? Oh, come on. Get something, Bentley. Oh man, this is gonna be close. And also, the gnomes push you if they run right into you, which makes movement a lot harder. Oh, come on, 2 more. Come on, 1 more. Where is he? Get him! Get him! Please! Are you serious? Are you actually serious? No! I was right there! Shit.
Where the heck are they? Actually, come out of the ground, please. I'm probably going to fail it this time too, aren't I? At this rate. Oh my gosh, please just hit something already. Frick. No jumping for joy, Bentley. This is not fun. Oh, they were all bunched together, darn it. Why did you spawn so far away from me? Come on. How am I missing all of them? And of course, I get the gnomes no problem. See, in the original, the challenge actually started when you enter this area. Here, it starts as soon as you stop talking to the gnome who gives you the challenge. Which really does not work in your favor. Because the first one usually pops out and then goes back underground before you even have a chance to react. Which is stupid! Oh, this might be my moment. This might be it. Please? Nope. Yes, no. Why are you... See? Stupid. God, this is like the Lost Fleet skateboard record all over again. How did I miss that? Oh. Run towards me, please! How am I missing? What? Really? Thought I hit him gnome that time.
Oh, come on. This is it. This is it. Where's the last one? Where's the last one? There we go, finally.
Done. And look, one of my friends dug this up whilst chasing the moles.
Not a fan of that challenge at all. I mean, it wasn't really... Oh, I mean, it was kind of fun in the original. It was, you know, just challenging enough, but here it's just annoying as crap. Thankfully, that didn't take me nearly as long as the Lost Fleet skill point, but still. Wave of relief rather than accomplishment going through me right now. Pretty sure that's probably the last challenge in the game in which, it's like that poorly designed to the point of frustration. So let's please just get out of here now that we're done. No, I'm not welcome. I'm out of here. Now we get to fly to this egg thief. He's actually pretty easy to catch if you just, you know, hug all of the corners and use some of the speed boosts that are scattered throughout the level. Also, you're probably able to cut him off, like right here! Oh, you cheeky bastard. Wait, where'd you go? There you are. For a second I thought I lost you. I should probably actually replenish my Superfly. Oh god, did I actually lose you now? Oh no. Did I mess up? Where'd you go? I don't know where you went. I legit have no idea where he went. Well, I screwed up. Hello? I'm not sure if you, like, stop somewhere and wait for me to catch up, or if you just keep on circling around. I really don't know. Oh, there you are! Well, I'm glad I found you eventually. I was afraid I was gonna have to, like, die and reset you. I mean, I've got plenty of lives, but still. That would not have been fun. Yeah, this egg thief is really easy, proceeds to fail miserably. There we go. Sup, Max? Do you have a silver hammer? Alright. We are not quite done with the Superfly, though. There's still a few more things we can do with it, and one of them is getting this key right here. Which, if you saw over by the Bentley area, there was a lockbox, and there's the key. What is a lockbox without its trusty key, after all? Why, it's just a box, of course. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. And also the last egg in the level. Grace! If you get that reference, then guess what? You are as old as I am. And as is the custom with most Spyro 3 levels, there's a whirlwind to take us right back to the start. Well, actually, no, we're at the start. What am I saying? Take us right back to the end, except it takes us to the lockbox. Which in this case is even better. Woohoo! So, we should be missing 10 gems, are we not? We are. So, to get the last of the gems, we go back to the Superfly power-up. And we fly back over to where the return home portal was, this tower over here. Fly up to the very top. And there you go. Done. Even though this level does look very pretty and very shiny, let's go back to the other very pretty and shiny level.